Well, also, it's like, dude, how are you gonna realistically, like, psychologically debate about two genders when you know there's only two, right? Like you can't sit there and ever win a debate on there being two genders. Everyone knows that. The only thing you could do if you believe that there's more than two genders is voice your opinion. But you know that saying that there's no such thing as a stupid question? It's so wrong. Like, I've been asked so much stupid shit. And I'm so sick and tired of the same stupid questions. Honestly. Like, one of the stupid questions, not stupid, but because I understand where they're coming from, but it always comes down to free will. And let me get this. Some guy asked me yesterday in the debate, he goes, if God is real, then why do some babies die from cancer? And I said, okay, first off, every single person, like, why do people suffer if God's real? First off, every person, most of the people that he's referring to believe in God, pray to God every single day. It's the people who have a good life, who are able to sit on their computer and play Roblox, question God's grace. And they're like, why are people suffering? The people that you're talking about who are suffering are literally praying to Jesus. Like, they're literally praying all the time to God. That actually strengthens their faith. It's literally just people who, like, can't wrap that around their head. And also, let's just say, God forbid, a baby dies from cancer, and you say, how could God be real? Like, if God exists, then why would this happen? If I go to the mom and I say, hey, you have a choice for your baby to never exist, that way he doesn't go through this, what would she tell me? No, not at all. Or what if God was like, hey, woman, I'm not gonna give you this baby? She's gonna be like, why? She's gonna be like, well, because she's gonna die from cancer at some point in her life. The mom will be like, I don't care. Why are you holding love from me? Now it goes back to love. Love is the reason of suffering. God allows suffering in this life because we have love as its redeemer. And Jesus paid the ultimate price. He suffered for us. So, yeah, we might suffer physically and emotionally, but our debt is paid. The suffering from hell, it's gone. We don't ever have to worry about hell and condemnation. That is paid for. The only pain we have to worry about is the pain now that we live in this earth. So yeah, that's why God allows suffering. And I was getting really sick of that fucking question because I had people ask me that over and over again. And now we have a liberal in here and we're gonna destroy her. But did she run away?
What does this mean? There are only men and female.
I couldn't say there's only two genders because Roblox kept tagging it. There's only two genders.
I don't agree with that. I think there could be as many genders as you want them to be.
I
Gender
can.
is an
I
identity.
first I need to know if this is satire or not.
No. I think
Okay.
your thing is satire.
No, I'm being 110% serious because look, you can't debate science. There's only X and Y, right? And just because you feel like there's infinite, your feelings do not dictate facts. I could feel like I'm a 6'5" black Chad, but in reality, I'm a 5'9" Arab guy. Just because I feel like I'm a tall black guy doesn't make me black.
Yeah, but that doesn't have. That's a fallacy argument. You could still select what you want your orientation to be.
You
Like,
cannot.
yeah,
No,
I
you
was
could
either born. I was
physically.
either
You could
born a
never
man or a
change
female.
that.
Yeah,
Hmm.
there's surgeries that you can do.
Yeah, to do what? To become a male or a female? You just proved my point. You could do a surgery to become one or the two. You cannot be a third. You could only do surgery to be a male or no. You just lost. What? You just lost.
Biological.
Yeah, but yeah. So what else? You just lost because you just proved it. It's biological. What are you gonna say now?
Yeah.
But I feel it. Well, feelings don't dictate fact.
Can you stop interrupting? Because I feel like that's you conceding the argument. Obviously, if we're talking about biological, like obviously there's like I don't know why you would have like the easiest debate ever unless you're not really that skilled at debating where you had to say, oh, the sky's blue. Like that's something so obvious. I'm saying that it's also behind psychology. You can change your orientation. It's not biologically. Yes, there's only man and female, but
yeah, and
in
if
terms
you
of like
change identity, it's called a sickness.
Not necessarily.
110%. No logical person thinks that they can literally be anything that they want in the sense gender-wise. I don't know how gender equals identity, because if that's the case, then you will get lost at some point. You cannot identify as anything physical. And being trans is... Who am I? Someone with logic. They could do it, but I guarantee they're going to be depressed their whole life because they're searching for physical validation.
Okay, but you just said that they can't do it, and then you said that they could do it.
Yeah, so they could try to do it. They could try to do it in their mind, but and
yeah, and what's wrong with that?
What's wrong with that is it leads to a lot of depression.
That's not necessarily true.
More than 40% of transgenders adults in the U.S. have attempted suicide. Tell me, why have 40% of them tried to kill themselves?
Because of people like you.
People like me, but I thought opinions don't matter. But I thought opinions don't matter, right?
Opinions shouldn't matter. They shouldn't matter, but they still do. In terms of like making your opinion a law, like you said that you're Arab, so you know in the Middle East it's illegal and sometimes punishable by death if you like are a part of a certain community. So if I lived in a place like that, I would be depressed too. Like if people are not accepting
but I didn't say in Lebanon. I said in the U.S. U.S. is the most liberal and welcoming place ever. And if you say no, you're wrong. Hey, but no, you're 110% wrong. You're a man walking the streets of America in a dress. You're gonna get applaud. Walk in the street in any foreign country, you will get stoned. So don't tell me America's not. And weren't you on here yesterday?
Okay, but something being a little bit more better, something being like better than a different country doesn't mean that it's 100% great. There's still higher rates of bullying rate, harassment for people a part of the community, even in the United States.
Right, but if you truly believe in your heart that's what you are, and you're a strong person mentally, you'd be like, I don't care because I know it's real. But deep down you're thinking, oh man, they're actually calling out my bluff. I don't know what to do because I'm not comfortable with myself. Someone changing their whole identity, their whole gender, is them saying, yeah, I have a lot of insecurities. I'm not comfortable with who I am, who God made me to be.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's not fine. No, because...
Yes, it is fine.
Okay, believe in God or not, it's just totally nonsense to try to change your gender to make yourself feel better.
That's your opinion.
But it's not. It's really facts, and it's actually only been...
It's not facts.
Name one historical figure who was a genius, who wanted to change your gender, who did something really good for the world.
Well, there probably was somebody who wanted to change their gender
because who is it?
Societal norm. Because of societal norms, they never came out. So
okay, then give me a transgender that you look up to.
I don't look up to any transgenders.
Why?
Because there's other people. Like, that's not to say that what is this person's orientation before I look up to them? No, I look up to different people, but I wouldn't look up to someone differently depending on their orientation. And if you do, that's so superficial and that's weird.
Not at all, because I do not respect anybody who is easily indoctrinated. You want to know why? Because that means they could indoctrinate my children. And not that I hate this person, but if you ever have this false idea that you could put on this sick belief onto children, then yeah, you need to be punished, because protecting the children is the most important thing.
That's a crazy thing to say.
Yeah, it is.
That's
but it's honesty.
I'm not surprised. That's your personal opinion, though.
If
you don't
you
want your
sit
children
here,
around that,
but sometimes
Are you
I
from the
can't
United
stop
States?
it. Yeah, 110%. But look, I
do you
can't
live
stop
in the
it.
United States?
I do. If I send my a kid to school and they're teaching them this
Yeah.
false doctrine, what am I gonna tell the teacher? And the teacher's gonna say I'm being a bigot, right? So there
Yeah,
goes
you
the
are.
whole thing of free speech.
You are.
No, not at all. What? Because
Everyone
I
has
don't
the
want
right
my
to
kid.
education.
But I thought I had a right to my kids, right?
That doesn't. Then you better pull your kids out of school. Send them to a private
I
Arabic
agree.
school.
I agree. Wow, Arabic. Look at
Pull
you
them out
saying
school.
race. Wow, look at you bringing in identity. Bigot.
No, but I'm saying
bigot.
If you want them to support certain things, then you can control that. You can homeschool them.
Okay.
But if you want to send your kid to a public school, then you cannot deny them the right of education.
But that's not
You cannot control
educational,
everything
because
that they-
what about
educational.
that is educational? Telling my kid, yeah, guys, so biologically, there's only two genders, but psychology says if you believe it, then that's what you are. No, because then you're saying, yeah, I could believe literally a lie and expect people to go with it. You cannot expect people to go with your lies just because you feel like it. That's unfair to the society.
If
You
we're
have to
talking-
understand that people are logical
Okay.
and have a brain.
I can see how you feel that way towards people who want to identify as a gender outside of man and female. But if you're referring to do you think that LGBTQ as a whole should be allowed to be taught in schools?
No, I don't think there's any point in it. What are they gonna teach? Yeah,
I
these
think that
people
there's a
like the
point.
same gender and kiss each other. I don't even need to know about
No,
straight
that's
marriage.
something-
I learned that outside of school.
I was misinformed. You learn that in school as well. They teach that in school.
Well, yeah, SCX Ed they teach, but there's
No,
not
they
a.
teach that in elementary school as well.
They teach what?
They teach hetero relationships.
As a paper airplane, who are you disgusted by, MJB? And okay, so what was your analogy that you were gonna say? What about the LGBT lettuce, bacon, tomatoes?
You can teach
grilled
about
cheese?
the history behind. You can teach about the history behind the community, and the rights that they fought for, just as you do any other ethnic community or any other identity. We still teach about African American history and the rights that they fought for. LGBTQ people have a big history in the United States, and we don't have to be like, oh, well, this person likes this person, this person. We don't have to go through the whole entire line, but you can go over the history, and you cannot deny them that. You cannot deny people history. You cannot deny people
I could say
education.
this. LGBTQ people didn't fight for anything righteous, if I'm being honest with you. This is gonna
If you
offend
say
you.
that, then you will be wrong.
Not at all,
You can
because
say that, but you're wrong.
okay, yeah, you could call me wrong,
Because I
but
could give you multiple.
I
incidents
think
where they
okay,
did
you
fight
want
for
okay,
that.
you want to say right? Okay, you want to say they fought for something they believed in? Yeah, they did. They definitely fought for something
Yeah,
they
they
believed
did.
in. Yeah, 100%. But that
Mhm.
has nothing to do with my education. That's not going to make me a better person. I learned about it, and frankly, it was boring and honestly kind of gross. I
That's
don't
fine.
really care
That's
to know
fine.
about that, and I don't think that it makes you a better person. Learning about slavery and all this stuff, yeah, because it actually teaches you about what people really went through, physical pain and all that suffering, and
But
you
why
want to
would you
learn a
still
little
care
bit.
about that?
Why would I still care
You are
about that?
contradicting your argument. You
Yeah,
are
I just
picking
don't.
cherries
I
and
just
apples
don't
and
think
contradicting your
that because I
argument.
don't think learning about LGBTQ is really that important. I don't think it really
Yeah, and that's a
benefits
strong
society.
bias.
But what are
That's a
you gonna?
strong
Okay,
bias that you
as a
have
straight
behind
male, right? I'm a straight male. I still treat
That's good
everyone.
for
But
you.
no, but listen, no, listen. I treat everyone with respect, whether they teach me or not. What is me learning about what LGBTQ people went through? How was that
Well, half of the things you said
gonna make
was
me a better
disrespectful.
person?
You're not. You don't respect everybody because half of the things you said were
No, I
disrespectful.
respect everyone. I just don't agree with them. I have a really good sense of humor. You
Yeah,
just
if you don't
don't find
agree
it
with people,
funny.
then just don't talk. Yeah, I don't find it funny. Because
But
joking
me and
about
you
people's
don't
human rights are
agree.
not funny.
But me and you don't agree. But you're here talking. That doesn't. You're contradicting yourself. Actually, you're using the.
That doesn't make any
Yeah,
sense.
you're using the loser statement. Yeah,
That
because
makes 0 sense.
no. Look, you said if you don't agree, then don't talk. Me and you don't agree. Why are we talking? Yeah, because I
If you
think it's
don't
good to
agree,
have this.
you're not okay, but everything that you said is based off of personal bias. You're like, well, I wouldn't want to learn that. I wouldn't want my. Where are you going to provide actual facts? I don't care what you personally want to do as a
What are the
heterosexual
facts that you're
Arabic male.
providing? What are the
That
facts
there's
that you're
history
providing?
behind it. I already provided the facts. There's history behind the community. If you want me to provide certain facts about how they fought for their rights in the United States, I can provide certain events and I can give you an education. But just because you don't care about an event and it's not going to improve your life, there's a lot of things that I don't know if you go to school or if you're here all day, but there's a lot of things that we learn in school that we don't use every single day of our existence.
Yeah, and it's the same
Just as
thing
African
with learning
American
about
history.
LGBTQ. There's
Yeah, it
literally
doesn't mean that
look
we still
if
don't have the right to learn about it.
I think if you want that subject to be taught, it could be a side class, but to make the whole school be indoctrinated about glorifying same SCX marriage is frankly really disgusting, and there's no
Well, that's the
knowledge
personal
and there's
opinion.
no wisdom in it.
That's the
There's no
personal
wisdom.
opinion.
There's no wisdom
Can
to
you
be
provide
taken
a
from it.
fact?
Yeah, okay,
Are
teach
you
me.
going
Yeah,
to provide
yeah,
facts,
okay,
or
yeah.
are you only going to
No,
say your
no,
personal
I'm
bias?
gonna let you do it. I'm gonna, no,
I
cause
can't argue with your personal bias.
because there's no
That's
facts
the
right
thing I
now
can't
to be
say.
stated. This is just genuine common sense. Sometimes in the debate, I think facts are really overrated. I feel like it's sometimes
Okay,
good to
what is
use common sense.
What is common sense?
Common sense?
That's the most stupid thing I ever heard. What is common sense?
Common sense is using logic to raise strong men and strong women. You are not.
Okay, what is logic?
Can you defend?
What is
Okay.
logical?
How tall are you? Are you a man or woman?
You, as somebody who's a straight,
No, but
you
no,
as
just
someone who's
listen.
an Arabic male,
Yeah.
you might find things more logical or different things logical than I do. So
Okay.
using common sense is subjective in a narrow argument. Just say
Okay.
that you don't know how to defend your position.
Okay. Well, I did defend myself because I used facts for the two
You said it's
genders.
common
No.
sense.
Listen. I switch, right? So for the male and female, I used facts and I destroyed you, and you agreed with me that there's only two genders, and
Because
then
that's something self-explanatory.
no, because you
Is
came
this the
on.
only
No,
debate
because you
that you're
came.
able to have?
I'm having more, but anyways, like I was saying, okay. Are you a man or a woman? Let's just have that.
Am I? Why is
Yeah.
that relevant? And then I'll
Because
answer the
it's gonna be
question.
part of my thing why
Part of your
LGBTQ shouldn't be taught. Are you a man or a woman?
I'm a man.
Okay.
I'm a man.
Would you say you're a feminine man?
In what way? What's a feminine man?
Do you act like a woman? Are you GAY? Are you very like? Do you act like
I
a woman?
don't
Do you paint your nails?
I don't act like a woman.
I got suspended. against God and the natural law of human order and their teaching lies. Oh my god. This fucking asshole's lucky. Destroyed him in LGBTQ debate. Dude, this guy got so mad. It's like, bro, it's not my fault. Dude, just got debated. Hey, I'm sorry. I was just wondering because it just keeps disappearing and coming back. No. It's literally just sriracha sauce. No. Okay. Alrighty, well, I'm streaming. I just called you to say I love you. Love you. Bye, But yeah, guys, I just destroyed that little bit in that debate. But yeah, going back to what the topic, when he said why shouldn't it be taught, yeah, some debates are really just what is it called? Personal beliefs. Because I do personally believe that LGBTQ shouldn't be taught because it really just makes for weak people. And I'll tell you that because this is what gay people had to fight for. Oh, okay. Now what? Yeah, guys. It's okay to be soft. It's okay to paint your nails. Sugarcoat shit to make men less men. Yeah, it's okay to paint your nails. It's okay. You don't need to learn how to be strong. You don't need to provide, take care. You could be whatever you want. You could do whatever you want. Yeah, now that's a weak man. And why do all the people who this is a question, who are LGBTQ, not all of them, right? We're gonna say a good amount. Why are like a lot of the school shooters? Why did they end up being some weird transvestite? Literally in the town right next to where I live. I go to this town every day. There was a shooting. This guy, this tranny, was spray painting Free Palestine. Some dad confronted him saying, "Why are you spray painting this wall? What are you doing?" The tranny took out a fucking gun and shot the dad. Why the fuck? Why is this happening? Now, I think if you actually are gay and you love a man, that's between you and God, bro. I don't even touch that topic. That's a touchy subject. I don't even touch that topic. I'm not going to sit here and say you're a fucking sinner. Is it right? No. Do I believe being gay is right? No, I don't believe it. I don't think it's a natural occurrence in the human body, but is it happening more than ever? Do I think God is understanding more than I am, obviously? So I think that's a different topic for God. But yeah, they took off my mic because I was spizzing. All I was trying to say is that there was two genders, and just because you're LGBTQ doesn't mean that you have to teach your shit about people, because school is educational purpose about real history, not if you want to talk about logically, right? Yeah, then it should be in school because it's a part of America's history. Logical, right? But going on making stronger men, making men men, you're not teaching my fucking kid about men kissing men and what they had to fight for to get dick. You're not teaching my kid that. It's as simple as that. And yeah, that goes against the debate rule, using logic, but why is using logic forbidden in a debate? Why does that? If you're the type of person, yeah, I'm only going to use facts in a debate, then, like, that people think just because you're using logic and not facts means you lose. That's not how debates work. I think you're using the Pharisee. You're using big words. Get shit on. Yeah, I'm using logic. This is why I don't debate, bro. It brings the worst out of me. We're gonna stick to God right now. We're gonna leave it for God right now. Q and A ask me. Ask me questions about God. And we're gonna leave it there because, and I really hope that